Sushant Kriti, the last couple of weeks have been very sort of tumultuous for the film, for Raabta. And this is nothing you guys could have prepped or planned for or sort of, in any way told yourself that this stuff happens as well.
Yeah.
Right? So how have you kept a chin up while all this has been happening?
First thing first, I have seen the film, Magadira, and I know that it's not the same film. As far as I know, there are only 7-8 stories that we can tell. And if we start doing this, I think in Bollywood we'll sue each other, like everybody will sue each other.
That'll be the main job.
Yeah.
I think if we felt that we had done something wrong or we were sort of trying to copy anything and all, then probably we would have been kind of worried. But because we knew that there's no truth to it and it's absolutely fine. If they'll watch the film, they'll know. So I think that's the reason why we were never really worried or whatever. We were never restless about it.
But still it hurts. I mean, like it's uncalled for.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
cannot judge a film from a 2.5 minute trailer.
But when stuff like this happens, the nature of the beast is that it's unpredictable, right?
Yeah.
And anything is possible. Yeah. How do you as actors just brace yourselves and say, okay, I have no control over this, I'm disconnected, I will just do my job?
That's exactly what I tell myself, that I have no control over this. And, but just the fact that this film is very special to all of us, we've been like really obsessed about it and we've been really wanting to share it with the audience. And just the kind of negativity that, was uncalled for and it's there around does make you feel a little bad about it's like your baby and someone saying something bad about it. So it's just like that.
Sushant, this is your 6th film.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I felt like you're purposefully sort of being a Hindi film here, okay? With the chiseled abs and the songs and the clothes. Is that by design? Was that a conscious choice?
I know. In this film, I didn't know these two characters that I play are completely and diametrically opposite. And I didn't know whether I can convince you that I can be two in a same film. And the second character that I play, the flashback character, there was no reference to it. So everything, whether it's convincing or not convincing, right or wrong, but it's mine. It's completely fresh, personal, and I have created it. So that high of pulling off two characters in a single film is why I said yes to the film. But yes, the first character allowed me to have abs and dance. And
allowed me to have abs.
and there's this one thing that I'm so relieved about. My dad, so he gets fidgety about two things. One is like, he says, "Ekdam kaam acha kar rahe ho yaar, lekin degree le lete." So that thing. And the second thing is that acting अच्छी करते हो लेकिन hero नहीं लगते तुम. This is
finally hero लग रहे हो.
This is the first time he's considering me.
Considering?
Yes. So it's a hopeful situation.
But tell me, at this point, when you have done a film like this, and you've of course always looked very glamorous and very heroine-like in all your movies,
Two of them.
Yeah. But tell me, how much does, at this point, vanity sort of factor into the choices? If you were given projects where you had to be unattractive, would you take them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, it's not something that, even crosses my mind for 1 second when I hear a script. In fact, I want to do something which is completely away from what I've done so far, where people see me and probably don't recognize me for like 5-10 seconds that it's me. I think that'll be great. That's what kind of gives you a little bit of that high of being an actor, where you also see yourself and you're like, okay, that's me. Yeah, that's me. So, I don't think vanity sort of plays any role in my decision making at all. And in fact, Bareilly Ki Barfi that I'm doing, I mean, apart from the 1-2 songs which are Mahal is like the Shadi and Sangeet, but otherwise it's a very tomboyish, de-glam kind of a character. It's very simple. It's, she's wearing like pullovers and pajamas, which is not wearing glamorous clothes at all.
And for you, Sushant, have you sort of tasted blood with this one? Do you always want to be hero now?
But fortunately or unfortunately, before the release of this film, I've signed 5 films, and 3 of those 5 films won't allow me to look good.
No abs?
No abs.
So no more Instagramming about your workouts and
I have.
I think that's what he'll do to kind of
I have.
makeup.
make up for
I
it.
have stock pictures of this film, which I'll use gradually for next.
मैं ऐसा भी
please
दिख
put it
सकता
up,
हूँ.
Just in case you forgot.
Yes.
ये भी है.
ये भी था.
ये भी था.
हाँ, भूलना मत. मैं आऊँगा जल्दी.
Abs लेके. But you know, Kriti, I was talking to Pariniti,
Yeah.
and she said how much more pressure there is on the women to look good,
Yeah.
and all the time. So it's not just on screen. She was talking about some incident where she was visiting a friend and she left that friend's house at like 3:30 in the morning, and there was paparazzi, and she said pictures were taken, and then they circled my shoes, which were chappals, and said, you know, what is this? And do
Yeah.
you feel that pressure?
Yeah, absolutely. Like all the time it's there. You don't know from where you're going to step out and where you will get clicked and what they'll circle and say, oh, she's wearing this. See, I don't think it matters to me so much.
Yeah. How much do you have to
yeah.
buy into this game?
See, I don't think it matters to me, but like for example, even if you're like casually stepping out or going to like Maddock office for a workshop, I'll at least make sure that my face is looking decent enough that if by chance I get clicked, you know, it's presentable. But like for example, I think during like I think 2 days before something, I had come back home from promotions and I was exhausted. I'd taken off all my makeup and I was like really exhausted. And then I got a call that there's one word that has to be dubbed.
Literally one word.
Yeah, one word that has to be changed and I have to go back for dubbing. So I was like, okay. And I casually stepped out at 9:30 or something. I was like, it doesn't matter, I'm going to a dubbing studio. I entered there was a screening going on there. And there were like some 10 photographers. And they flicked me and I'm looking exhausted and tired, which I was. But yeah, it didn't matter to me. But it's not nice to see a picture like that on floating all around.
I don't have to worry about this because first
Yeah,
2
you're not
years I can't go worse than this. My first 2 years, so there are no expectations.
The bar is so low.
Yes, it's so low that nobody is expecting anything, and any sort of effort would just make them happy.
But I don't think
Yeah, आज
क्यों,
तो dress
आज
up okay.
तो
But I
सोचा
don't
इसने.
think they even point out anything to the guys. I think the guys can even step out in boxers and they'll not be like really trolled over it and stuff
Not
like
really
that.
in boxes, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean literally.
Chappals to take.
chappals and
Chappals are totally allowed.
Yeah.
I saw these videos where I mean these looked like very awkward, uncomfortable situations. There was of course you at the music launch where you got into an argument with a journalist.
The
There was
trailer
you
launch,
the
yeah.
trailer launch. The
Yeah,
trailer
yeah.
launch. There was you at some brand launch where you had just walked as the showstopper, and there was some gentleman insisting that what you were wearing,
My brand only.
yeah, that what you were wearing was actually really old, and
Yeah,
you know he
yeah,
very
done and
dismissively
everything,
said,
yeah.
but it is selling in Lokhandwala, and I was
Yeah,
like, wow,
yeah.
what does this
I for the
teach
longest
you?
time thought that that person wanted to say something negative and that's why he was sitting there.
He was, but he kept insisting.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't let go of. Well, I've made my point,
Yeah,
and he said,
yeah.
no, but why isn't she
Yeah,
wearing something
yeah.
better? What do you learn from these? Again, these are not situations you can possibly prep for. It just unfolds,
yeah.
right? And you're in the public eye. So, what do you take back home? Do you learn to say to yourself, okay, next time I'm not responding, or do you just be yourself?
So every time I anticipate something like this and I think about something which I'll think and not react, and every time it happens, I will just tell myself that no, this doesn't work. So I have to come up with something else. But this is what it is. I mean, like, it is so. I was just saying that
That you didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was not like I don't want to say. I'm saying I'm not informed, and that's it. I think it's a very good quality to have, to say I don't know. And it just went on and on. I didn't know what did she want. I mean, like, so yeah.
But what
I
do you
was
take?
clueless.
What do you take back for the next sort of press meet? Do you make rules for yourself?
I'd probably just not say anything and have a poker face and just look. That's it. Or start singing. Something like that.
I think, you know what, we did this during Dilwale. I think some controversy had happened with Shah Rukh sir had said something in some interview and they were constantly on every interview they were kind of asking about that and he was tired. And he was like, मैं कुछ भी बोलूँगा ये उसका कुछ और बना देंगे. So we had this strategy. Every time he got questioned on that, we all started singing Tukur Tukur. We really did that.
This works. This time I'll get through. It is so easy to understand that intelligent enough to understand what is the popular opinion, and I can just fake it. And you can't do anything to me because I'm with the popular opinion. I'm saying I don't know. Next time when I say that, okay,
Which
this
is the harder thing to do.
and the next time when I say that, okay, this is my opinion, you would know that I know everything and then I have taken a side. So you would respect that more. So this is, I think, one of the qualities which should be given slight room to, develop. But it was very unfortunate what happened. And what happened after that, I've given some 100 interviews. And say 80 of them were like, oh, it was unfortunate. Hum tumhare saath hai, something like that. And the rest 20, they never asked, okay, that time you didn't know. The question was important, right? So that time you didn't know. Do you know now what do you have to say about the issue? Nobody asked me about that issue, but which was so important. But everybody asked me about that incident. So it only shows what we are looking, just to highlight. If that question was so important, why is nobody asking me that question again? So this is
this is how it is. Tell me, and Kriti, I know you've only done 2 films, but in the 2 films and in the ones you've done, have you ever looked at any one scene and said, I really nailed the emotion in that? Have you ever sort of felt like you just got it right?
I'm pretty critical about whatever I watch. Usually when I watch my films much later, I start feeling that yeah, मैं कुछ और यहाँ पे कर सकती थी. There was just one moment, I think, in Heropanti, which is the interval point, where I see Tiger for the first time. And there's a lot that's happened before. I've been dragged, I'm crying, and there's a lot of things. So I think that because they didn't have any dialogues, and it was, those high-speed kind of shots where only emotions and only your eyes are showing. I just felt there, maybe I don't think I could have done it better.
This one scene in Dhoni, which might seem very insignificant scene, but when my friend comes and meet me after I've arrived as Dhoni. So,
Hotel mein.
Yeah. So that that conversation was a very tricky one, because that kind of, you have lived your life and you have seen him, you have lived a completely different life with that guy. And after that you have gone through few things, and then it is kind of a effort to re-establish what it was. You feel guilty when you're successful, when you meet your friends, you know what I'm saying? So those things, and it was a very delicate thing to feel.
To not look arrogant and at the same time.
I can't put it in words. It's just, you can see it and you can feel it, oh, that this is right. And this is what I felt.
And you felt you got that.
Yes.
Exactly right.
Because
I really like that line.
हम कुछ करते हैं भैया. हाँ, so like वो लड़की जो आई थी उसने बहुत छोटे कपड़े पहने थे, and that was an improv line, by the way. So I was just like, हम कुछ करते हैं. So yeah, that's it.
It was really sweet.
Yeah.
It was very tender.
But yes, it took. When I was watching it for the first time, I was like, got it, man.
Tell me, Sushant, your Instagram descriptor is neurotic imposter.
Yeah.
Why?
In between, they changed a little.
What was it?
Changed back.
Became
Neurotic chokra or something it became. It became a little more desi, and then we just went back to it.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I feel I am. And
Right.
everybody is.
I also want to know this.
I can't define it. I'm neurotic, for sure. I think anybody who wants anything else than food and the basic needs is neurotic. So that's...
well, which makes all of us neurotic
yes.
then.
But imposter?
Yeah, I'm trying, consistently trying to become something I'm not. And even if I get there, then I'll make up something else. And then it's a consistent trying to be somebody who I'm not. Yet animated.
He had told me, Kriti, that he actually doesn't like to talk. Okay.
1 second, I don't believe this.
And he said
He talks a lot.
You have...
In interviews, sometimes I'm like,
no, but he said people also don't like to talk to me because I'm so boring. Is he boring?
no, he's not boring.
He's not boring.
The last
yeah.
time-
But see, a person like me and the kind of equation I have with him, if he's talking something that I'm not interested in or he's going on and on, I'll say, bas, abhi. I can't take him more.
But you have joined at a very wrong time. I never used to talk. The,
I don't believe
the conversation we had in that college, you remember?
Yes.
That was the second time I was talking.
Really?
Yeah, the first time it was in IIT.
Listen,
Yeah.
the
That was the
whole
second time.
of the whole of Raabta shoot, you were talking. So,
He's a new man.
I still have to improve on, the...
on talking?
No, the number of words I use to express myself. But yeah, I'm
You're
getting
doing
there.
fine. You're doing fine. You know, I was talking to Arjun Kapoor, and he very honestly spoke about the weekend when they were bombed. And he said that he was literally weeping because he thought he would never get hired again. You know, it was just so shattering. And he said his father actually came home and said, don't worry, something more will come, something good will come. And is that, I mean, it just made me wonder, no matter what we do, we're never in that position which you guys are in, which is that Friday when a film doesn't work and you think, will I never be hired again? How do you make peace with that feeling? And how do you sort of go on?
I think we'll have different answers to this.
Why don't you go first?
Why don't you say your answer first?
I'll take a break.
Breather.
You go first.
I think, I mean, I can sort of understand what he's saying and what he's feeling. Although, we like, I don't come from a film background, he does, but still he's having that kind of feeling which is understandable for an actor who's not done too many films. In my case, just the fact that I don't know too many people in this industry because I'm not from the industry. And I'm only 2 films old. So for me, every film that I'm doing, firstly, anyways, I would really want it to work. But if it doesn't work, I would be like really heartbroken and everything. But at the same time, I would feel that maybe I've gone a step back. Maybe, if this would have worked, things would have been different. I think just to keep trying and just to make sure that your work in that film is at least your 100% that you gave. That is something I don't want to regret.
There are 2-3 things at work, I guess. Number one is experience. So I slogged a lot in Byomkesh also. Really learnt a lot. Really learnt a lot. I could actually tell you what are the things that I learned. So it happens very rarely. And it is very close to me, as close as Dhoni is. But it didn't work on the Friday. I was disappointed, shattered. Saturday, Sunday didn't work. Although I was getting the kind of appreciation that was required, but nobody was watching it. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday I was devastated. Monday morning I was completely fine. Not because I was asking myself to be, think positive. No, nothing like that. I was fine.
You were okay.
Monday morning. And exactly the same thing happened with Dhoni. Dhoni opened big, massive. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was so happy and flying. And Monday, I was like, you should be flipping my Monday was completely okay. So, this spike of 2-3 days, and so it's a simple mathematics. I give around 6 to 8 months to a film, it's 240 days, and then there are 3 days. I can't control these 3 days, 240 days. Yes, I can. How? When I don't know how to do it. And that's why I will do it. But just by doing this, I put myself at risk every time because I don't know how to do it. So there is more chances of me failing than succeeding. So that is the one thing. And the second thing, the story that I tell myself, Shekhar told me that your life is the story that you tell yourself. And so you want to change your life, change the story. You're the narrator. So this is what I tell myself, that you after dropping out, you were living with 6 guys in a single room. And you were doing theatre, and every play used to get 250 rupees. And I can't tell you, I still think of it and I get goosebumps. I was so excited. There were nothing that would give me happiness that has to do with future. It was there. I would get up in the morning, do my martial art, background dancing, theatre, and then with all those 6 guys, I will have long conversations. So if nothing was right, that is something that I can always do. And I'll still be that happy.
So even the bottom of the barrel is a lot of happiness.
Reminding myself again and again that that's where you'll go. So everything will be. We are too careful. We should fail. I mean, but for the right reasons. It's not that I'm I'm taking it easy and that's why I'm failing. But I'm trying different things and that's why I'm failing, which is very good because 1 in 10 times when I succeed, that will be very, very personal and very fresh. So we should give more room to failures.
Mess up.
Yes. Learn not to be careful.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. And all best for Raabta.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, if you like this video, which you should, please subscribe.
Subscribe to Film Companion.